You think money is created by governments? You think banks are just places to store your savings? You think the economy runs on fair competition? You are wrong. Two families have shaped the world's financial system for over a century. Their plan was simple. Control the money supply. Control the world. And it started with a secret meeting on a private island. Most people will never know the names behind their currency. They will never read the original documents. They will never connect the dots from 1910 to today. Because if they did, they would see the invisible hand that decides interest rates, stock markets, and even wars. This is still happening today, and no one is stopping it. Here's what they don't want you to see. 1760s. Frankfurt. Meyer Amschel Rothschild starts as a coin dealer. He serves the Prince of Hesse, builds a network, lends to nobility. By 1798, his sons are sent out. Nathan to London, James to Paris, Salomon to Vienna, Karl to Naples. Amschel stays in Frankfurt. The first international banking house is born. They finance both sides of wars. No loyalty to nations, only to profit. Battle of Waterloo. Nathan Rothschild gets news first. Uses Courier's pigeons. Spreads a rumor. Britain lost. Stocks crash. He buys everything cheap. Then the truth arrives. Britain won. Stocks soar. Nathan makes millions overnight. The family legend grows. They control British bonds, finance the Suez Canal, invest in railways, mines, oil. Their web spreads across Europe. John D. Rockefeller founds Standard Oil, monopolizes American oil. By 1880, controls 90% of U.S. refining, uses ruthless tactics, secret rebates from railroads, buys competitors, or destroys them. In 1911, the Supreme Court breaks up Standard Oil, but the pieces become Exxon, Chevron. Mobil, the wealth multiplies. Rockefeller becomes the richest man in history, adjusted for inflation. Over $400 billion today. Panic hits Wall Street. Banks fail, runs on deposits. J.P. Morgan steps in, lends his own money, stabilizes the system, but everyone sees the flaw. No central bank, no lender of last resort. The stage is set. Jekyll Island, Georgia, a private club. 7 men arrive in secret. No last names used, only first names. To avoid detection, Senator Nelson Aldrich, head of the National Monetary Commission. Paul Warburg, from the German banking family. Frank Vanderlip, president of National City Bank. Linked to Rockefeller interests. Henry Davison, from J.P. Morgan. Charles Norton, from First National Bank. Benjamin Strong, also Morgan man, and Abraham Pyatt, Andrew, Treasury official. They meet for 10 days. No records, no witnesses. Warburg drafts the plan. A central bank, controlled by bankers. Not government. They call it the Aldrich Plan. It proposes a National Reserve Association. 15 branches, power to issue currency, backed by gold and commercial paper. Private board. Elected by banks. Aldrich is key. His daughter Abby married John D. Rockefeller Jr. in 1901. The families are linked. Rockefeller influence flows through Aldrich. Warburg's family has ties to European banks, including Rothschild networks. The plan is born in secrecy. Elections. Woodrow Wilson wins. Democrats take Congress. The Aldrich plan is to banker-friendly. Opposition rises. William Jennings Bryan calls it the money trust. The Peugeot Committee investigates, finds concentrated power. J.P. Morgan. Rockefeller. A few men control 341 directorships in 112 corporations, worth $22 billion. That's over 600 billion today. Carter Glass rewrites the plan. Decentralizes it. 12 regional banks. A Federal Reserve Board. Appointed by the President. Currency as government obligation. Wilson signs it. December 23, 1913. The Federal Reserve is created. Private banks own the stock, but the government oversees, or so they say. The Fed's first act expands credit for World War I prints money. Inflation follows. By 1920, the system is hooked. Stock market crash. The Fed tightens. Great Depression begins. Rockefeller and Rothschild interests survive. Others fail. Consolidation happens. Chase National Bank, Rockefeller's bank, grows stronger. FDR's Banking Act. Glass-Steagall separates investment and commercial banking. But the Fed gains more power. Centralized control. Post-World War II. Bretton Woods. 1944. Dora becomes world reserve currency backed by gold. Rockefeller's Chase Bank profits. Rothschilds rebuild in Europe. Finance reconstruction. Nixon closes the gold window. Dollar floats. Pure fiat. Unlimited printing. The family's influence deepens. David Rockefeller, head of Chase Manhattan, pushes globalization. Founds the Trilateral Commission. 1973. With Zbigniew connects elites from North America, Europe, Japan. 1980s deregulation. Reagan era. Glass-Steagall weakens. Big banks merge. Rockefeller's Chase absorbs others. Becomes JP Morgan Chase. Glass-Steagall repealed. Gromlich-Bliliak. Banks. Gamble again. Rothschild and Co. advises on deals. Their merger with Rockefeller Investments, 2012, creates a $34 billion alliance. Financial crises. Fed bails out banks. Trillions printed. Quantitative easing. The system saves itself. BlackRock. Founded by Larry Fink, former bond trader. Manages the cleanup. Grows to 11.5 trillion assets by 2025. This is the 100-year plan. From Jekyll Island to today. Control the money creation. Control the crises. Control the recovery. Now connect the past to 2025 to 2026. December 2025. The Fed's balance sheet hits $10 trillion from endless key. Interest rates hover at 4%, but debt service eats $1.2 trillion annually. More than defense. January 2026. Fed now fully integrates with major banks. Real-time payments. But it's the backbone for CBDC. The digital dollar. Programmable money. Tested in pilots. March 2026. G7 meeting. Leaders quote David Rockefeller's old words from 1991. The supranational sovereignty of an intellectual elite and world bankers is surely preferable to the national autodit practiced in past centuries. They push for global standards. April 2026. Rothschild and Co. advises on the merger of two megabanks. Creates a $5 trillion asset giant. Rockefeller philanthropy funds, climate initiatives, tied to ESG investing. BlackRock enforces it. Controls voting in S&P 500. June 2026. BRICS expands. Challenges dollar dominance. Saudi Arabia accepts yuan for oil. The petrodollar cracks. Fed responds with rate hikes. Markets volatile. September 2026. A cyber incident. Banks offline. Fed offers digital wallets. Emergency measure. Millions sign up. Cash limits imposed. $20 a day. Like Nigeria in 2023. The connections are direct. The Jekyll Island plan centralized control. Now it's digital. The family's networks. Through banks, philanthropy, advisory firms shape the transition. Who wins? The family's Rothschilds, Rockefellers, their heirs, the central bankers, the megacorporations they vote for, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, the Big Three, holding 22% of U.S. stocks, governments dependent on them for stability, for advice. Who loses? You, the individual, small businesses, crushed by regulations, savers, eaten by inflation, debtors, trapped in programmable money, privacy, gone, every transaction tracked, dissenters, funds frozen, the middle class, squeezed into renting from funds they control. This is not revenge. This is evolution. The 100-year plan completes its cycle. From gold to fiat to digital, monopoly intact. But upgraded, the money monopoly does not end with a bang. It ends with a scan. Your phone, your wallet, your freedom. Handed over. One update at a time. You now see the plan. The question is, what asset are you holding before they turn off the old system? If this video woke you up, drop a like and subscribe. New forbidden truth every single day. Turn on notifications. The next one might save your wealth. Comment the one thing you're doing right now to prepare I read every single one.